What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we are going to be hanging out with a game called Archaelund. We played this game probably about 10 months ago when it first came out in early access, and since then the game has had 3 major updates and a million zillion hotfixes. So today we're going to be taking a look at it for about 30 minutes and seeing if it's something you wanted to add to your wish list or if it's one of those games that you would rather pass on. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below that'll take you straight to the early access so that you can check it on out. I would estimate there's probably, well, I don't want to say. I'm not gonna try to guess how much content there is here. I've been playing for about 3 hours this morning, and I'm loaded up with like 11 or 12 quests. There's a bunch of things that are reputation locked to me right now that I can't access because people don't like me enough yet, which I'm guessing will lead to more quests. The map itself, that's about all that I've explored, and aside from a couple of dungeon crawls, we're going to dive in today and we're going to do that exploration. So come and join me. The link is down below. Also, you'll be able to find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream just in case you wanted to hang out live. There's also other links down there to things like my Steam curator and Patreon in case you wanted to support the channel that way. But what is Archaelund? Archaelund is a CRPG, actually an old school kind of gold box inspired CRPG that's played from the first person perspective, but when you get into combat, the camera zooms out and you fight on a normal tactical grid with enemies. Right now, I have been conscripted, well, not conscripted, but I've been employed as an adventurer inside this place to go and find a number of creatures next to that pond right there. And so I figure we'll go take them out real quick because my party needs money. There's equipment to be bought. I'm trying to get myself stronger inside the context of the game. As of right now, I'm cruising at level 2. That might not sound like a much, but the max level for right now inside the early access is level 4. And so we're about halfway to the max level that can be afforded, but this is an old school D&D style game where it takes a little while for you to actually level up your character and get anything done. And so those are the critters that I think I'm supposed to be hunting over here. Let's go ahead and see if maybe we can jump them real fast. They don't seem to be that interested in me, but there are a lot of them over here, so this might turn into some kind of problem. This game functions on an AP-based system, so every character has AP that are dictated by their stats at the beginning of the game. Every character has, like, I think 6 or 7 stats, and those stats will dictate what you're good at, how well you fight, and whether or not you're able to cast magic spells, and what supplementary skills like diplomacy, or what things you'll have like magical lore or archaeology, or giant ridiculous Minotaur-wielded sledgehammers, for example, which just took out that Screevel, sorry, I'm guessing these are a reference to Skyrim and Morrowind and Oblivion, because I think skeevers are like one of the weakest enemies in those games, right? And so anyways, they said there was something over here by the lake that I needed to take a look at, although I may need to go back through my quest log and figure it on out. But we'll go ahead and bypass our turn right there. That big one right there just wasted a big chunk of his turn trying to run around. And wasted his attack, so that's good for us. You may have noticed that there are little symbols all over these guys' feet right here. The little symbols are actually pretty simple. This game has a basic flanking system inside of it, where if you can turn an enemy around and you can get them faced in a different direction, you get big bonuses for attacking from the yellow direction, and you completely negate their defenses if you hit them from the orange direction. And so this is a game that's very much about facing and figuring out which way you want the enemy to be pointing before you take your turn. It's also a game where you kind of need to pay attention to the initiative track at the top because the character's attention are reset at the beginning of each round, and so like the people that act first, they're going to be the tip of the spear, and you sort of want them in a position where they can get the enemy to face the direction that you want before the rest of your slower characters, they maneuver around to smack the guy in the back or do whatever it is that they're going to do. And so for right now, I'm going to move my mage up. I've got 4 characters in the party right now. I've got a Minotaur Barbarian. I'm a huge fan of this because Minotaurs are one of those races that I would say that after orcs and dwarves, which are my favorite races in all fantasy games, I would say that after orcs and dwarves, Minotaurs are definitely up there, and that's probably the fault of something like, oh, I don't know, where did I fall in love with Minotaurs at? I think it was Dragonlance was when I was a kid reading Dragonlance that I learned to love Minotaurs and think that they were awesome. But for right now, let's smush some giant rats. I'm going to see if I can turn this one. which should allow somebody else get into position and do something. Our mitigation should be able to avoid us taking too much damage for right now. I'm going to move him back over to here, and we'll get a free hit on its back right there with no defenses. We'll move my rogue over to this side, and we'll start taking a stab. But as I was saying, the cast of characters right now, I've got a Minotaur Barbarian. I've also got a human Squire, which is kind of like a knight. I've got myself a Goblin Rogue, and I've got myself a Human Priestess, or Pilgrim, I guess, is what that would be called. Race does matter in this game. The characters are predisposed, in a lot of cases, to doing certain jobs. So while... what is this thing right here? What is that? Someone has left by the pond some empty glass flasks. There's a faint scent of alchemical reagents in the air, but whatever they once contained is poured into the waters already. I will take them, because somebody said that. This is for the Mages Guild. He said there was a bunch of rats over here, and he wanted to judge if I was worthy to come on into the Mages Guild. And so he said to get rid of the giant truck-sized rats that were over here and bring back anything interesting we find by the lake, and he'll have us covered. That right there is a healing herb that we had 0% chance to harvest. There are crafting systems in this game, although none of my characters are crafters, so I haven't really gotten that far on into it. But as I was mentioning, the race of your characters in this game and the way that you arrange their stats definitely dictate what they're going to be good at and what they're not going to be good at. Certain races are way better at casting, certain races are way better at fighting, but at the end of the day, if you have the stat requirements, you can make any race into any class if you want. They just won't be quite as good at it as the other race that's really, really good at magic or really good at spear fighting or whatever else. I think there was something else over here that I needed to investigate as well. I'm going to pop off a quick game save, and then we'll move forward through the valley on this side with the epic music playing to see what we might find hidden over here, because I'm in the mood for a little bit of exploration. Level ups don't happen altogether that frequently, as previously mentioned in this game. What are you guys right there? You guys like giant spiders? What are you? Looks like we got some crab creatures or something over here. They have now seen us, so I'm going to initiate combat from back here by clicking on them, and then we will try to just set up a defensive line over here, and we'll see the way that the enemy decides to come after us. We're a little bit wounded. This is an old school RPG in the respect that you do not regenerate in between fights. You do need to find a campsite, and you do need to rest in order to heal up and get your mana back. If a fight has been particularly nasty, that can be a bit of a problem. We're just going to bypass and let them come to us until the clash happens. The clash has officially happened over here. I'll probably move to here and just start getting some stabs off on this guy with my knife. Yeah, that almost took him out. Let's step forward, see if we can get a bash right there to finish him off. We did indeed pull out the gumption to smite him, but we are taking some damage along the way, so I'm getting the feeling my healer's going to have to do some work today. 2 AP to step over to there. Her weapon attack takes, what, 6 AP? Okay, move over to here so that we have a line. Smush that bug. You move over to here and get ready, because you may have to heal any one of these 3 at the moment. One thing I do like about the game is you don't learn magic spells by leveling up. You actually have to go to the appropriate guild or the appropriate group of people. You have to convince them to like you enough, because magic is a liability in this post-apocalyptic world. And once they like you enough, they will train you to use magical abilities. Let's go ahead and throw a heal out right there. There we go. 13 HP back on my Squire. You maybe try to get in behind this guy, I guess. You'll still have enough if you hit this to turn him around. You did not hit him, but that's okay. It sets us up for next turn, because now he's facing the right way. Although he may reset at the end of the round. It's kind of hard to tell. 12 damage critical right there, a big old smack. Don't let the sort of asset-y graphics in this game fool you. The character models and the armor and everything are really, really simple, but this is actually a really good old school RPG. Like, there's a lot of games out there that want to invoke the name of old gold box titles, but this one successfully does it and very much reminds me of something you would have played back in like the Pentium 2, Pentium 3 days, when 3D graphics were first starting to take off, where a lot of the depth is kind of backloaded inside this title and should not be taken at surface value. There's a few more of them over here, huh? Okay. Well, let's knock these guys off the beach real fast. I'm never going to turn down free XP for fighting. If I can... Oh, they got the first attack off. Unfortunate. So he's going to run up, try to hit my warrior right there, my barbarian. Let's have you kind of wheel over this way and get ready for some flonks. Give them the bonks. And that big one back there is the one that you got to watch out for. This big one back here is the one that does all the damage. Okay, we're in an alright position right now. You move up and just get one free swipe off right there. It was an insta-kill. We'll move over to this side. Have you move over to here. Maybe get a new facing. Ooh, 2 big misses right there. Unfortunate. But didn't miss with the big giant hammer. And frankly, the big giant hammer is the one that matters. Let's see if we can get a few bonks off over here with our blunt weaponry. I normally don't make my priestess fight, but let's get her into the thick of it. We've got our enemies defeated. We're going to get a little bit of XP added to our track and also some crafting or selling goods right there. And let's walk the beach real fast and see if we find anything good. Pardon the light right now. It's like 6:30 in the morning in game time. There is a day and a night cycle that you will want to pay attention to, and certain things will only happen during day and during night. Certain quest triggers, things of that nature that you'll want to keep an eye on. Are those good? Oh, it's an egg cluster. I need those. An alchemist asked me to go out and find Norax egg clusters and offered to pay me a lot of money in order to go find them because they're apparently a delicacy back on the mainland. This game takes place on the island of Archaelund, this is a post-apocalyptic planet. You can't tell from what we're doing right now, but it's a post-apocalyptic planet, and the island of Archaelund was the only part of the world to not be racked by this sort of apocalyptic force that hit the mainland and wiped everybody out. And so this is a very likely destination for anybody that's trying to get away from the nastiness of the mainland. And we came here with just that intent, trying to become adventurers and to find ruins and magical artifacts and things that we can send back to the mainland for a profit. There's got to be another cluster of eggs around here somewhere. But as I was saying, on our way, you can see the intro to the game if you want by watching the last time I covered the game. You can also see the character creation there because I did the character creation in long form during that video. We got a couple of stone golems up here. Let me throw a heal on old Melissa. We've still got a little bit of mana left on our healers, so if anything goes kind of like sideways or a little bit unpredictable, we should still be all right. I don't see the rest of the egg clutches over here, and I was hoping we would find all 3, so it's possible they may be in a different spot. Let's creep up on this guy, initiate combat so that we get the first turn, and initiative is ours. I'm going to move up. We'll get some stabbage off. There we go. 10 damage on the first turn. Mighty nice. We got 11 damage right there. These guys are a little bit thicker than the usual conflict that I go into. They're kind of like these little stone golems that are animated by ancient magics that are still wandering around the land and defending ruins and whatnot from wannabe adventurers just like me. Okay, there's one down. Move forward. Maintain ranks. And we'll see if we can flank around this guy as time goes along, but I don't know if it's going to benefit us like that. Move up to there. I only have one magic spell right now, which is a heal, because it's like 200 bucks to get new spells. But I've got my eye on a couple of spells that they have back at the Priest's Guild, or at least at the Shrine, that I think will be really good to add to our repertoire. This game does come with a number of different difficulties. I think there's 4 of them as of right now, from super easy to super hard. I'm playing on the 2nd difficulty, which I think is the normal difficulty. It said to start here if you have experience with RPGs, but like, you know, you want there to be a challenge, but you don't want the game to be breathing down your neck the entire time. The next difficulty up, I think, was the one that I recorded the first YouTube video on, where it was quite spicy and difficult. As I recall, I streamed the game for a couple of hours off that save after playing the YouTube video, just so people could get a longer look at it back in the day. And I remember having to load my save quite a few times because the enemies, they will bring the stompage to you. So let's see if they were hiding anything good. Typically behind these guys, there's usually a chest or some kind of treasure, because they guard ancient ruins, and so maybe we'll find something nice over here. Or it may have just been a random fight that we had to pick our way through. It can be kind of difficult to tell sometimes. But the landscapes are really nice. I actually really like the decorative effects in this game. I think that like the map design is pretty solid here. We got another fight on this side. I kind of wanted to follow the beach, because if there is another clutch of Norax eggs, I'd like to get them before too long so that we can get that fat paycheck when we get back to town. because I need to upgrade my weapons. Although I will say the game is absolutely filled with little secrets and whatnot. The opening 2 or 3 hours of this game are just one big dungeon crawl, and there's hidden levers, there's hidden secrets, there's all kinds of goodies inside of there that made me think, oh, okay, so this game's actually kind of legit. Ooh, big miss on the outset right there, sort of unfortunate. Oh, big 6 damage hit too. Okay. Well, let's move up, and we'll start picking off enemies to make a gap. I can always trust my rogue to land his hits. Okay, they've got our line a little split up right now, which I'm not hugely in love with. Big miss right there, so that's nice. Let's move over to here, and on the next turn, we'll try to heal him. Big hammer smite right there. Big miss on that side, I'll take it. He's getting focused, though. We need to get his health back up. Kill that thing so it's not in the way anymore. Put a little bit of smoke on him. If we can drop this little one, that would have been great too. But my priest is the first one up on the next turn, so she'll drop a heal on him real quick. Got the maximum roll, 2d6 right there. Unfortunate that we missed right there. Might need to throw a little bit of healing on my Minotaur pretty shortly. Let's wheel around this one. Okay, big kill right there. You regroup over on this side. Yeah, I think my Minotaur is going to need a heal, so let's go ahead and throw that on out there. 11's good. I'll take 11. 11's better than like a piddly 4 or something, which you can sometimes roll, so that's life. The UI works very, very well. Yellow means that you can't attack after you move there. Green means you can in some respect, and so shouldn't be too difficult to figure out tactically what your character is capable of as you move through the game. Let's keep an eye out for points of interest for right now, or anything that might be hidden away in a nook or a cranny, because this game is a big fan of putting things in nooks and crannies. And like, let's be honest, who isn't? Let's go over to this side, and it looks like we got another beach over here, so this might be where our final little clutch of Norax eggs is at. Probably somewhere near that pack right there that's probably guarding them. I do like that the creatures actually live in the game. Like, they walk around, they take little naps. They kind of do their own thing on the map until you blunder into them and initiate combat. The clutch is probably over there next to that craggy mass on that side. Which, while we're on the subject, craggy mass is a really fun word to say. None of those are harvestable, but we do have a seashell back here. We rolled a 93 to pick those herbs, so unfortunately we didn't get them. The herbs are valuable to alchemists and stuff back in town, and if you have anybody inside your group that's like a bona fide crafter, a Dapper Dan man of a crafter, unfortunately we don't have that, but if you do, you can make potions and stuff out of them. I don't think we'll need healing for this fight, so we should be good. There are other maps and islands. They are not currently inside the early access, though, so you're going to have to oh, they saw me. They done seated me. All right, well, we'll initiate and let them move their way on in. Let's get a little line going over here. Get her in position. Hey, and one of them made base contact before we start to fight. Good. Oh, one-shotted. Get wrecked. That's what I like to see. Let's just wait for the rest of them to get here. Aw, I was hoping for a one-shot right there. Such is life. I'm really going to regret my words if I end up needing healing here. You can fight a Norax. You're not that strong, but you can handle it. It also faces him so that I can flank over here. There we go. Good stuff. And then the big flank right there, too, for the kill. No giant hammer wump, though. I was hoping for a giant hammer wump, and yet I was given no hammer wump. Can't turn him either. I'm trying real hard to turn this guy, and it's not letting me get the turn. Good stuff. All right. Easy peasy victory. A little bit more XP to be added to the pile, so everybody gets 40 XP. You can see how far they are into the level by this yellow meter at the bottom. We will take all the loot because I need stuff to sell when I get back to town. Another seashell over here. Grab that. Just because every little... Oh my god, there's so many over here. Okay. Well, I guess I will pound my way through a number of combats. There's the last clutch, so I gotta take this one. Oh, they spawned on top of us. There was more of them hidden. Kind of wish that I had more mana for this. I get the feeling we're going to accumulate a little bit of attrition here. Yeah, especially if that happens the way that I think it's going to happen. Okay, so your first job is just to get that guy exactly off of my healer. Big kill right there, which I'll take. This is a problem, because if he gets eaten by a hit right there, he's going to be flanked. So that'll be a little bit of a problem. Let's clear out the area a little bit. We're getting really, really good attack rolls right now, so we should be all right. The game uses a D100 system for its attacks, where you roll on a D100, a 100-sided die, and if it comes in underneath the target number, you should be solid. Good kill. Okay, that'll work. 2 AP goes over to there. But that does give us a flanking strike, which is nice to have. Okay, kill right there. And that should be the last one that I have to deal with. Cool. All taken care of. That should be a nice little batch of XP, too. Yeah, that was a solid little chunk. I don't hate it. 256. You can also get XP when you're dungeon crawling. You get XP for things like disarming traps, passing diplomacy checks. All that kind of stuff will also give the party XP, which can really add up when you first arrive inside a new township or whatever else. There we go. We should have enough on us to kill these guys. Let's get everybody arranged. Alright, everybody's... Ooh, there's a dead guy over there. Dead guys always have loot. Now I am enthused. Alright, mud crabs. What do you want to do here? Not get one-shotted, unfortunately, which I was hoping for. We do have a nice little flank right there. And... I guess you kind of move up the center so that you're in position, because her healing spell is a touch spell. So she has to be inside a melee range to touch a party member and heal him. Oh, but she doesn't have any mana left, so I guess that doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, big strike right there. Wheel around him. Unfortunately, a lot of armor on that guy. A lot of armor and a lot of mitigation. Okay, let them get their retaliatory hits. Looks like they missed on my rogue. Probably the best person in the party for them to attack, in all fairness, because my rogue has like 30% dodge. So he doesn't tend to get hit very often, because between their native attack chance and then the dodge being added on in and then the mitigation from his armor and whatnot, he can be a little bit of a headache to hit. All right, let's see what treasures we got over here. I'm going to save real fast in case I need to save scum. And there's a skill check. We've got a rusty longsword and a lesser ring of frost. It gives cold resistance, so that's nice. Can I walk around this thing? Is there anything else back here? I mean, there's a seashell. 3 gold's 3 gold. Make sure you investigate everything, because your character's like my rogue. He's making detect hidden object checks while you walk around, and if you find those objects, you get XP, and of course, you get extra loot that other parties might have just wandered past and not even seen. Let's go. What is this over here? There's a campsite. Are they bandits? Or are they friendly? It says it's a safe place to rest, and we do need a rest right now. Who's this guy? The man doesn't seem to notice your approach until you're almost upon him. He gives you a weary look. What do you want? Leave me to my own, travelers. Is this your camp? Why are you here all alone? He stares fixedly into the extinguished campfire, lost in thought. You must be Guardian. Ikanos sent us to rescue your group. He blinks slowly as if coming to his senses. Ikanos, I can't face him after what happened. It's all my fault. First Nerea was lost, then Bellafor. Leave me alone here. Remaining here will solve nothing. Eventually monsters or bandits will kill you. Come with us. He shakes his head and looks away. Alright, well, this is one of the guys that I was trying to rescue. What time is it right now? It's 11 a.m. I can begin a rest. I don't have enough supplies to do a real rest, but we can do a forage and hunt rest real fast, which will be like 3 or 4 hours. Well, let's just wait till the morning. There we go. Now that we've got suitable sunlight, sometimes I forget that I'm recording a video, and so I try not to have like nighttime phases inside my videos because I've noticed that people just kind of like tune out because it's too dark to see what's going on, and I try to brighten it up in post, but there's only so much you can do without making it look washed during the daylight sequences. Oop, nope, don't really want to fight you. You know what? Let's go get our quest rewards. I feel like I deserve quest rewards. Back at the Wizard's Tower, having now, we did him right at the beginning of the video, so let's go inside and we'll let this guy know that we are now worthy to be a part of his guild. I don't have a wizard in the party, but maybe someday. We were by the pond to the north. Magnificent. Did you find anything out there? Empty flasks. No idea how they ended up there, right? Of course not. Empty flasks, probably from a drunkard wandering through the town gates. Just hand them over and 74% chance. Oh, it probably isn't a symbol of the... It said that it had the symbol of the Mages Guild on the bottom. Let's put aside the flasks and discuss your reward. It's impossible to ascertain what property of Ascanius, Galeb Peninsula. Please return if found. Sound familiar? His shoulders droop and he lets out a heavy sigh. I told my apprentice to be careful with used potion flasks, but she wouldn't listen. It seems she saved time and money by washing them clean at the pond. But the important thing is, once more, the Arcanum saved the day and all is well. As for your reward, from now on you get a discount on spells, plus I'll award you with a trinket. No need to thank me, it was a pleasure. Now, I'm sure you're as busy as I am. Okay, you got any other jobs? So he gave us a lesser ring of wizardry. It gives +2 to willpower. That's pretty good. That's just 2 more mana points, so I'll give that to her. So now she has 20 mana. That should help out a little bit, at least, in getting ourselves nice and equipped up. He can sell spells and whatnot, but I don't really have a wizard, so that's not going to be that helpful. Still, we made some money here, and if I go turn in those egg clutches, I'll have, like, probably around 500 gold after I sell all the stuff that we found out in the middle of nowhere. So I should be able to learn some new spells on my priest. I'd like to get, there's one that like cleanses debuffs. The enemies in this game tend to use a lot of debuffs like paralysis, poison, all that kind of nasty stuff. And like with old RPGs, poison doesn't kind of go away on its own in this game. You gotta like actually get rid of it with like an antidote or something. So after turning in the eggs and also turning in all of my random trash loot, we've got ourselves a decent little batch of money. Let's go see what we can buy with it. I mean, I need upgrades, so let's go get some. There were some boots and things that I was looking at too inside the blacksmith. But for now, is the bird around? I've got a quest. Things have been going missing in the marketplace, and I noticed that there was feathers around, and so there's supposedly a bird around here. I don't think that's him, but supposedly there's a bird around here, and I need to see where he flies so I can figure out where he's stashing everybody's stuff. Still, let's go up to the shrine real quick, and we'll see if we can buy some spells. Spell lady? Can I buy some magical training? What can I get? So we've got Purification. She needs rank 2 Piety, so she needs to be level 3 before she can get level 2 spells. There's also Order spells, but I'm not quite there yet. But Order spells would be great. I think my current character can get Nature Magic and can get Holy Magic, Piety Magic, but Purification was the one that I was looking at. Let's have her learn Purification, because that should be helpful, and she can just cast that from down there. It should have gotten added onto her hotbar as well so that I can cast it in combat. How expensive is it, though? 5 WP? Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's going to cost us like a quarter of all of our mana, but it's better than slowly dying of, like, poison coursing through your veins and making your eyes fall out your butthole and whatnot. Oh, that might be our bird right there. Is that our bird? Well, it updated my quest log. What did it update? It went up there, so I'm guessing it's keeping him in the tower or something. Like the bird flew up to the top of the tower and now he's orbiting it, but the door doesn't open. So, we're going to have to weasel out how we get that. I'm not too sure. Climbing up here seems risky. There is fall damage in this game and it hurts like hell. So I would rather not catch fall damage if I can help it. Doesn't look like I can work my way up on this side, though. He's back to flapping around. He's taunting me, dude. Stupid magpie. Ooh, there's a dead guy up on the bluff over here. Who is this guy? He's got money, he's got boots, he's got a rotten armor, an imperial penny, and a bird training manual. Huh. Maybe the bird training manual will tell us what we have to do. Well, since the bird training manual wasn't really much help, I can't get up onto the bluffs from back there, so I'm guessing we're gonna have to go around the town and like work our way back down into here or something in order to get there. But he's definitely stashing the loot up inside the tower. But this is Archaelund. I think this game is really cool. I like it a lot. It takes me back to the elder days of RPG gaming, where it's a tough game that makes you think and use your brain, where things sort of arrive emergently when it comes to like getting new spells and training up your characters. Level ups feel nice. You've got all these skills on every single character that are enabled by their job, a la something like D&D, and so they've got these supplementary abilities that can help you out when you're inside dungeons, like picking locks, spotting secrets, disarming traps, lying to people. Meditation gives me mana back after combat, healing herbs and harvesting, maps and charts. I have no idea what that's useful for. It's probably useful for some kind of skill check that I don't have. You can also get talents when you level up, and there are quite a few of them that will allow you to customize your characters to your liking. And so this one, I'm excited to see where it goes. It's trundling along, and it's not developing quickly, but it's not developing slowly either. And if they achieve the things that they're setting out to achieve, I think this will be a banger little RPG release. I don't really have too many complaints about it, except that it crashes every now and again. Every now and again, the game will freeze up, hang, and crash on me. I think it happened twice in the 3 or 4 hours that I was playing. So if you are going to get the game, I would recommend you liberally slam the F5 key here and there to make sure that you have an autosave that you can get back to in case the unthinkable happens to you. But that's been really the only major problem that I've seen so far. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so that you don't have to. Today up on the chopping block, it was Archaelund. Tomorrow it'll be something else. Thanks for hanging out with me, and that's all I got for you. Bye, folks.